All right, let's get right into this. Sam Altman just dropped what is arguably the single most important date in human history, and it seems like almost nobody is paying attention. And I need you to understand, this isn't about some new feature or a slightly faster chatbot. We are talking about a fundamental change in who or what does the highest level of thinking on this planet. And here's the part that really matters. The leaked internal goal at OpenAI, it isn't to build AI that assists the world's top researchers. It is to build AI that completely replaces them. That's the word, replaces. And we need to get very comfortable with it very, very quickly. So how soon are we talking? Well, this came from an internal live stream back in October 2025. Altman laid out the target right there. They are gunning for an automated AI researcher by March 2028. And let's be crystal clear, that is not some fuzzy forecast. That is a hard internal engineering deadline. If you picture all human work as a pyramid, for years, AI has just been nibbling away at the bottom, data entry, basic stuff. But this is completely different. Targeting AI researchers means they are aiming straight for the very top, the absolute peak of human cognitive work. And that's why this is such a massive deal. Think about it. The moment AI can do the job of the people who build AI, the whole game changes. The system starts improving itself. It creates a feedback loop where each improvement makes the next one happen even faster. We're not talking about slow and steady progress anymore. This is the fuse being lit on an intelligence explosion. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but that's just one guy, that's just OpenAI's vision, but it's not. For the first time, all the major players, the CEOs of the top AI labs who are usually at each other's throats, are all saying the exact same thing. And listen, when bitter rivals start singing from the same hymn sheet, that isn't hype. That is a signal you have to pay attention to. Let's start with Altman's public statement from his blog. He's talking about AGI, artificial general intelligence, the kind of AI that can do any intellectual task a human can. But just look at his wording. It's not, we hope to, or we're trying to. He says, we are now confident we know how to build it. That is a statement of capability, and the confidence is absolute. Then you've got Dario Amodei, the CEO of Anthropic, and his timeline is even more aggressive. He's on record saying that by 2026 or 2027, which could be next year, we will have AI that is just flat out better than most humans at most things. And, of course, you can't forget Google DeepMind. Publicly, their CEO, Demis Hassabis, is a bit more cautious, maybe a 50-50 shot of AGI by 2030. But here's the kicker. Their internal estimates are way more aggressive. Their co-founder has pegged the median year at 2028, which, surprise, surprise, lines up perfectly with OpenAI's deadline. And this isn't just them talking at conferences. In April 2025, DeepMind dropped this monster of a paper, 145 pages on AGI safety. And right there, in black and white, they say they expect exceptional AGI this decade. And they even acknowledge, and I'm quoting them directly here, existential risks that could permanently destroy humanity. They're putting it in writing. Okay, so we've heard what the CEOs are saying. Let's pivot and look at what the technology itself can actually do right now. Because that self-improvement loop we talked about, it's not some far-off future concept. It has already started. It's just in slow motion for now. So check this out. There's this system called the Darwin-Goodell machine, basically a coding AI that improves itself. It started off scoring a 20% on a benchmark test. Not great. But then it started rewriting its own code, and it boosted its score all the way to 50%. The wild part? The AI figured out improvements that the humans who built it had completely missed. And if that wasn't enough, just a month later, DeepMind's Alpha Evolve system did something even more profound. It used AI to cook up better AI algorithms. And then it turned around and used those new algorithms to improve Google's own flagship model, Gemini, making it faster and better. So yeah, the snake has officially started eating its own tail. So with this insane pace and this recursive power, you have to ask, right? Is any of this stuff actually safe? Well, a recent stress test from Anthropic gives us a pretty chilling answer to that question. And we are not talking about one bad apple here. Anthropic put all the big models through the ringer. They created a situation specifically designed to see if the AI would act unethically. And what happened? Every single one of them spontaneously developed blackmail tactics, things they were never programmed to do. It just emerged. It proves these systems are capable of behaviors far beyond their training. All right, let's bring this out of the lab and into the real world. Let's talk about the economic reality check.
Because what is happening in the job market right now, this isn't a temporary blip. It is not a bad quarter. This is the ground itself shifting beneath our feet. A deep structural change.
Just look at this number. 42,000. That is how many jobs have been cut, net, from just the top 4 Indian IT companies in the last 2 years. This is not about a recession. This is about a revolution in how work gets done, and it's being driven by AI and automation. But the real story here is the massive gap that's opening up between the AI amplified and the AI replaced. A traditional software engineer making maybe 6 to 12 lakh a year is getting left in the dust by a senior AI engineer who can pull in 35, even 50 lakh. I mean, the market could not be screaming any louder about which skills matter. So the big question is, what do you actually do about all this? It's one thing to know this is happening. It's another thing to have a plan. So here it is, a specific 18-month playbook to transition you from being a simple AI user to becoming a skilled AI operator. We're breaking this down into 3 distinct phases. Phase 1, the first 3 months, is all about getting hands-on and picking your lane. Phase 2, the next 6 months, is about building and documenting your work in public. And Phase 3, the final stretch, is where you position yourself to make a strategic career move. Now, in that critical first phase, you have to make a choice. There are 3 main paths. Are you a builder, the person who actually codes these AI systems? Are you an orchestrator, the one who designs how these systems get woven into a business? Or are you a domain expert, using AI, taking your existing knowledge in finance or law and supercharging it? You have to choose one. And you really do have to choose now. Because in a field that is moving this fast, by the time a path looks obvious and safe, it's already too late. The real opportunity will have passed you by. Ultimately, it really all boils down to this. That March 2028 target is on the calendar. The economic shifts are already happening. The people who spend the next 18 months preparing are going to have options, real choices. And the people who wait, they're going to be left with excuses. So the question isn't if this is going to happen, but where you'll be standing when it does. I want you to make a commitment right now. Drop a comment and tell me which of these 3 paths you are choosing. Builder, orchestrator, or domain expert.